Helena Blavatsky revealed something that forever changed how we understand the destiny of the most evolved souls. She discovered that there exists a specific spiritual realm where only the most developed consciousnesses can dwell. And what's most impressive is that you can know right now if your soul is already preparing to access this sacred place. Millions of people around the world feel that they are different, that they don't fit into this material world, that there's something greater waiting for them. If you're one of these people, today you're going to discover that this feeling isn't imagination. It's your soul recognizing its true origin and spiritual destiny. What I'm going to reveal about the realms where evolved souls dwell will finally explain why you've always felt like you didn't belong here, why certain spiritual experiences seem so natural to you, and most importantly, how you can accelerate your journey to these higher planes of existence. Helena Blavatsky wasn't alone in this discovery. Edgar Cayce, considered the greatest psychic in history, documented through more than 14,000 psychic readings exactly how this spiritual hierarchy works. In 1923, during one of his deepest trances, Cayce began describing 7 distinct spiritual realms where souls reside between incarnations. But what he revealed about the highest realm will leave you speechless. Right now, your soul already carries signs of which spiritual realm you're destined to access. It's not about religion, it's not about being perfect, it's about a specific level of consciousness that you may already be developing without even realizing it. The shocking truth is that most people are trapped in what Cayce called the realm of material consciousness, a spiritual plane so dense that souls can remain there for hundreds of lifetimes. They're good people, but they never learn to transcend their basic human impulses. They continue choosing comfort instead of growth, fear instead of love. But you who are here now, seeking this knowledge, already demonstrate that your consciousness is operating on a different frequency. There's a reason why certain spiritual information makes immediate sense to you, while other people consider it impossible. During a reading in 1944, Cayce revealed something extraordinary about souls like yours. He said there are people incarnated today who carry memories of ancient civilizations like Atlantis, and who came specifically in this era to help humanity make an evolutionary leap. These souls aren't here by accident. They're on a specific spiritual mission. If you've always felt you have a greater purpose, if mystical experiences seem natural, if you genuinely care about humanity's evolution, your soul may be preparing to access what Blavatsky called the realm of eternal wisdom, where the most evolved consciousnesses in the universe dwell. The first evidence that your soul belongs to the higher realms is in how you react to others' suffering. Cayce discovered something extraordinary during his readings. Evolved souls feel a deep compassion that goes beyond common sympathy. When you see someone suffering, you don't just feel pity, you feel a real need to help, as if that person's pain were also yours. This happens because your consciousness is connected to what mystics call the unified field. You literally feel the interconnection of all souls. Cayce documented the case of a woman in 1936 who cried every time she saw injustice, even in movies. During the reading, he revealed that her soul had lived as a healer in several incarnations and maintained her spiritual sensitivity intact. She wasn't being too sensitive. She was demonstrating the trademark of an evolved consciousness. If you recognize yourself in this, if you sometimes feel the weight of the world on your shoulders, if human cruelty affects you deeply, your soul is showing you that you operate on a spiritual frequency higher than average. Helena Blavatsky wrote that souls destined for elevated realms maintain this natural compassion because they know at a deep level that all separation is illusion. You can't be indifferent to suffering because your consciousness recognizes that we are all one being living different experiences. But there's something even more revealing about how this compassion manifests. You've probably already noticed that people and animals feel naturally comfortable around you. Small children look at you with curiosity, animals approach without fear, and strangers sometimes start telling you their most intimate problems. This isn't coincidence. Your spiritual energy emits a frequency of safety and love that other beings instinctively feel. It's as if you carried an invisible signal saying, "This person is safe. This consciousness is evolved." Comment which city you're watching from, so we know how far this knowledge is reaching and how many awakened souls exist around the world. Casey explained that this natural sensitivity is actually preparation for the work you came to do in this lifetime. In the higher spiritual realm, service to others isn't a choice. It's the natural expression of evolved consciousness. But what I'm going to reveal now about the second evidence will surprise you even more. The second proof that your soul is destined for higher realms appears in your dreams. Blavatsky discovered that evolved souls maintain an active connection with spiritual planes during sleep, receiving guidance, healing, and even specific missions. You've probably already had dreams so vivid they seemed more real than waking life. Dreams where you flew naturally, where you conversed with beings of light, where you received knowledge that your conscious mind had never studied. These aren't ordinary dreams, they're conscious journeys to spiritual realms. Casey documented hundreds of cases of people who received physical healing during dreams, who met deceased loved ones to resolve pending issues, or who simply woke up with a profound sense of peace and purpose. One of his most impressive readings was for an engineer who dreamed every night of a giant library, where he could consult any information. During the day, he solved complex technical problems using knowledge that appeared in his mind. Casey revealed that his soul was accessing the Akashic records, the cosmic library where all knowledge is stored. If your dreams are rich in symbolism, if you sometimes wake up with profound insights about your life, if you've had dreams that later became reality in some way, your soul is demonstrating that it can consciously transit between dimensions. Blavatsky taught that in the realm of eternal wisdom, there's no separation between sleep and wakefulness. Consciousness remains active and lucid in all states. Your dream experiences are training for this higher spiritual reality, but there's a specific type of dream that's the absolute mark of an evolved soul. Dreams where you're teaching or healing other people. If you've ever dreamed you were giving lectures to crowds, healing the sick with your hands, or simply comforting someone who was suffering, your soul is remembering its true purpose. These dreams aren't ego fantasies. They're memories of your activities on spiritual planes. While your body rests, your soul works tirelessly in service to others, preparing to manifest this mission in physical life as well. The third sign I'll reveal now is so powerful, it can explain experiences you've had your whole life, but could never explain. The third manifestation of a soul destined for higher realms is in your natural relationship with subtle energies and frequencies. You probably always knew when someone was lying, even when the person was convincing. You felt when someone had bad intentions, even if they seemed nice. Helena Blavatsky called this auric perception, the ability to read the energies that all people emanate. Your evolved soul developed this sensitivity as protection and as a tool for service. Casey documented the extraordinary case of a woman who could feel illnesses in people just by being near them. During a reading in 1938, he revealed that her soul had been a healer in multiple lives and maintained the ability to perceive energetic disturbances in others' physical and emotional bodies. If you sometimes feel unexplained pains or discomfort when you're near certain people, if heavy environments make you physically ill, if you can read others' emotional states even when they try to hide them, you're not being imaginative. You're demonstrating an advanced spiritual capacity. This energetic sensitivity is fundamental in the realm of eternal wisdom, where all communication happens through vibrational frequencies. Your soul is practicing this higher language while still incarnated. But there's one aspect of this ability that's particularly revealing: your relationship with historical places or ancient objects. Have you ever entered an old church, a museum, or even an old house and felt something special, as if the place carried memories, stories, energies of people who had passed through there? Blavatsky explained that evolved souls can access the energetic memory of places because their consciousness transcends the limitations of linear time. You're not just imagining these sensations, you're literally perceiving layers of reality that most people cannot detect. Casey reported several cases of people who visited places where they had lived in past lives and immediately felt at home, recognized details they shouldn't have known, or even began speaking languages they had never studied. If you have facility for learning languages, if certain ancient cultures fascinate you inexplicably, if you feel more connected to nature than to modern civilization, your soul is remembering its spiritual origins. The fourth evidence I'll reveal will show you something even deeper about your true nature. The fourth proof that your soul belongs to higher realms is in how you deal with crises and challenges. Evolved souls possess a natural capacity to find meaning and growth, even in the most difficult experiences. When something painful happens in your life, you probably go through a process where, after the initial impact, you begin to seek the learning, the lesson, the purpose behind that experience. This isn't forced optimism. It's activated spiritual wisdom. Casey discovered during a reading in 1941 that souls destined for higher realms deliberately choose challenging incarnations because they know that accelerated spiritual growth comes through conscious overcoming of difficulties. If you've already gone through significant losses, deep betrayals, serious illnesses, or any other form of intense suffering, and managed not only to survive but emerge positively transformed, your soul demonstrated its true evolved nature. Blavatsky wrote that in the realm of eternal wisdom, there's no concept of victim, only courageous souls who choose challenging experiences to accelerate their evolution and help other people who will go through similar situations. Your ability to transform pain into wisdom, trauma into compassion, and fear into courage isn't common. Most people become bitter after difficult experiences, but you developed the rare ability of spiritual alchemy, transforming lead into gold, suffering into enlightenment. There's a specific pattern in the lives of evolved souls that Casey observed repeatedly. They often face their greatest crises before age 35. This happens because the soul needs to break the illusions of the young ego so the true spiritual identity can emerge. If you had to mature early, if you took on responsibilities beyond your age, if you went through experiences that forced you to question everything you believed about life, your soul was accelerating your awakening process. Most impressive is that you've probably already noticed that your most difficult experiences became your greatest sources of strength. People come to you seeking advice precisely about the areas where you suffered most, because your soul transformed that suffering into applicable wisdom. But what I'm going to reveal about the fifth evidence will show you something surprising about your mission in this lifetime. The fifth manifestation of a soul destined for higher realms is your natural attraction to spiritual knowledge and hidden truths. You didn't arrive at this content by accident. Your soul recognized information that resonates with your spiritual frequency. Since you were young, you were probably always interested in subjects that other people considered strange. Reincarnation, energies, spirituality, mysteries of life after death. While your peers were only interested in superficial entertainment, you sought answers to deep questions about the meaning of existence. Casey documented that evolved souls maintain a natural thirst for spiritual knowledge because they know, at an unconscious level, that they came here with a specific mission and need to remember their capabilities to fulfill it. Helena Blavatsky spent years studying ancient texts, traveling to mystical temples in Tibet and India, not out of academic curiosity, but because her soul recognized familiar truths in these teachings. She was recovering knowledge she already possessed in previous incarnations. If books about spirituality make immediate sense to you, if concepts like karma, chakras, astral planes seem natural and logical, even when you encounter them for the first time, your soul is recognizing information it already knew. There's something even more revealing. You probably have facility for meditative or contemplative practices. Even without formal training, you can enter states of inner peace, receive insights during moments of silence, or simply know things without being able to explain where this knowledge came from. Casey explained that souls coming from higher realms maintain natural channels of communication with spiritual planes. That's why meditation isn't something you need to learn, it's something you just need to remember. But perhaps the most striking characteristic is your attitude toward death. While most people have a deep fear of death, you probably see it more as a natural transition. Not that you're in a hurry to leave, but you don't carry the existential terror that afflicts so many people. This happens because your soul knows, even unconsciously, that physical death is just a change of state of consciousness, like taking off tight clothes at the end of a long day. You've already transitioned between dimensions so many times that your inner being recognizes this as a natural process. The sixth sign I'll reveal now is perhaps the most extraordinary of all. The sixth evidence of an evolved soul is in how you affect other people without even realizing it. You're a natural catalyst for others' spiritual awakening, often without knowing you're playing this role. People close to you have probably gone through significant transformations, left toxic relationships, changed careers to something more aligned with their values, began self-discovery journeys. Your presence serves as a mirror that shows others what's possible when we live more consciously. Casey documented fascinating cases of evolved souls who functioned as spiritual alarm clocks for other people. A reading from 1939 revealed that a woman had helped more than 200 people begin spiritual searches simply by being herself, authentic, compassionate, and connected to her higher purpose. If you've had people say that conversations with you changed their life perspectives, if friends frequently seek you out when they're going through existential crises, if your presence brings peace even when you're not actively trying to help, your soul is fulfilling one of its main missions. Helena Blavatsky wrote about this phenomenon in her diaries. Souls destined for higher realms naturally emanate a frequency that awakens spiritual remembrance in other consciousnesses. It's as if you carried an energetic tuning fork that makes other souls vibrate in harmony with their true frequencies. But there's one aspect of this influence that may have gone unnoticed by you: your ability to neutralize heavy environments or tensions between people. Have you ever entered a room where there was arguing or dense energy and noticed that things gradually calmed down? This isn't imagination. Evolved souls function as natural energetic harmonizers. Your elevated consciousness literally transmutes dense energies into subtler frequencies, creating spaces where healing and understanding become possible. Casey reported the extraordinary case of a man who worked in a hospital and noticed that patients on his shifts recovered more quickly than normal. During the reading, it was revealed that his soul radiated natural healing energy, accelerating physical and emotional healing processes in nearby people. If you work in care, education, or any service activity for others and notice above-average results, your soul may be channeling healing energies from higher realms through your daily work. What I'll reveal about the seventh evidence will connect all the dots impressively. The seventh proof that your soul belongs to higher realms is in your natural relationship with the concept of service. You don't see helping others as obligation or sacrifice. You feel genuine satisfaction when you can contribute to someone's well-being. This isn't calculated philanthropy or forced kindness. It's a natural expression of who you are. When you serve others, whether through your work, simple gestures, or just offering compassionate listening, you feel more aligned with yourself, not drained. Casey discovered that evolved souls experience what he called joy of service because they know intuitively that helping other consciousnesses evolve is part of their cosmic mission. In the realm of eternal wisdom, service isn't work. It's the natural expression of love in action. Helena Blavatsky dedicated her entire life to making ancient spiritual knowledge available to ordinary people, facing criticism and persecution. She didn't do this for recognition, but because her soul knew this was her specific contribution to humanity's evolution. If you feel an internal calling to share knowledge, heal others' emotional wounds, defend just causes, or simply be a loving presence in the world, your soul is expressing its true nature. But there's a specific characteristic of your type of service that reveals your spiritual origin. You probably prefer to help in ways that empower people to help themselves, instead of creating dependency. You teach to fish instead of giving the ready fish. Casey explained that souls from higher realms understand that true love is awakening others' inner strength, not solving their problems for them. That's why your natural helping style focuses on inspiring, guiding, and supporting growth, not taking on responsibilities that aren't yours. If you've ever felt frustrated with people who want you to solve their lives instead of taking their own responsibility, your soul was reacting to an incorrect use of your spiritual capabilities. Leave in the comments which of these 7 evidences resonated most with you. Your response can help other awakened souls who are watching to recognize themselves too. But what I'm going to reveal about the 8th evidence will surprise you about the true purpose of your current incarnation. The 8th manifestation of a soul destined for higher realms is your natural ability to see beauty and potential where others see only problems or limitations. You look at people who are going through difficulties, and even recognizing their pain, you can perceive their inner strength and possibilities for growth. This isn't naivety or denial of reality. It's developed spiritual vision. Evolved souls can see beyond superficial appearances and recognize the divine essence that exists in each being, even when it's temporarily obscured by pain, fear, or confusion. Casey documented cases of people who had this soul vision and how they naturally became catalysts for positive transformation in their communities. One of his most touching readings was for a teacher who could see potential in children that others considered problematic, and who transformed hundreds of lives simply by believing in the best of each student. If you've always been able to see qualities in people that others dismissed, if you have facility for forgiveness because you understand that everyone is doing their best with their current level of consciousness, your soul demonstrates wisdom from higher realms. Helena Blavatsky wrote that in the realm of eternal wisdom, all souls are seen by their maximum potential, not by their temporary limitations. Your ability to adopt this perspective, even while incarnated, reveals your familiarity with these elevated dimensions. But there's something even deeper about your way of seeing the world. You can probably find meaning and purpose in experiences that other people would consider wastes of time or unimportant coincidences. A casual encounter, an unexpected conversation, even moments of difficulty carry messages or growth opportunities that you recognize naturally. Casey explained that evolved souls maintain sharp perception of life's synchronistic patterns because they know that everything is interconnected and that each experience serves consciousness evolution. You don't live coincidences, you live meanings. This ability to find purpose in everything makes your life rich in learnings and connections, even when externally it may seem simple or ordinary. Your soul has transformed the art of conscious living into a constant spiritual practice. The ninth and penultimate evidence I'll reveal will show something extraordinary about your spiritual future. We've reached the end of this transformative revelation, and I hope you've recognized your true nature through these evidences. Your soul isn't here by accident. You're part of a special group of consciousnesses who chose to incarnate at this specific moment in history to help humanity take its next evolutionary leap. The ninth final evidence is in how you feel receiving this knowledge. If this information resonated deeply with you, if it brought a sensation of, finally, someone understands, if it feels like you're remembering truths you already knew but had forgotten, your soul is confirming your origin in higher realms. Helena Blavatsky and Edgar Casey dedicated their lives to preparing the path for this moment in history, where evolved souls could recognize themselves and consciously assume their missions. You're not just another person interested in spirituality. You're a veteran soul with experience in multiple dimensions of consciousness. The realm of eternal wisdom, where your soul is destined to dwell, isn't a distant place in the future. It's a state of consciousness you can access increasingly in this very life. Every moment of genuine compassion, every choice to serve instead of be served, every time you see beauty where others see problems, you're tuning into these higher frequencies. Your mission now is twofold. Continue developing your own consciousness through practices that naturally attract you and help other souls awaken to their true nature. You don't need to become a guru or formal teacher. Your simple conscious presence in the world already serves as a beacon for other people who are seeking their path. Remember the 9 evidences: your natural compassion, your revealing dreams, your energetic sensitivity, your capacity to transform challenges into growth, your thirst for spiritual knowledge, your awakening influence on others, your natural impulse to serve, your vision of people's inner beauty, and this intimate confirmation you feel recognizing these truths. If you identified with most of these characteristics, your soul is already preparing to consciously transit to higher spiritual realms when you complete your current earthly mission. But more important than your future destiny is your present responsibility. Every person who watches this video and recognizes themselves in these descriptions is part of a global network of awakened souls working for human consciousness evolution. Comment below how many of these 9 evidences resonated with you. This will help other people recognize themselves too. Like this video so more awakened souls can find it. Subscribe to the channel so we can continue sharing this deep knowledge, and most importantly, consciously assume the role you came to play in this crucial moment of human history. You are more spiritually powerful than you imagine, more loved by higher realms than you can understand, and more necessary for world transformation than you can believe. Your soul chose to be here now, because you have exactly what's needed to fulfill your unique mission. Continue shining your light, continue serving with love, continue being the living example that higher forms of consciousness are available to all humanity. The realm of eternal wisdom isn't just your future destiny. It's your present reality manifesting through every conscious choice you make.